Hello everybody, welcome back to Max Reviews, and today we are going to be ranking my top 5 favorite films of 2011. If you've been coming back to these series, just ranking top 5 favorite movies of each year, sort of shorter, something nice to do and build up for favorite movie of the past 50 years, and favorite movies, each year, and that's building up. 2011, I think 2011, this was a great year for movies where it was pretty rock solid, my list, but placing them was harder. So we got some of these decisions were hard. This is Max Reviews. I'm Braden, and let's get started. Coming in 5th place here is going to be Captain America: The First Avenger, a movie that if you watch my MCU rankings video yesterday, which I think will be pretty big, you should probably check it out. I took a long time doing it, but Captain America: The First Avenger I think was in bottom 5. Was it something like that? It was in lower. So you would think that it wouldn't make it on this list, but there's still some really good parts to Captain America: The First Avenger, and the stuff still looks really good. The fight scenes are pretty good, but the main core to it that really pushes this movie forward for me is the great moments that you have with Steve Rogers becoming Captain America, and just seeing this guy that wants to fight and then he gets these superpowers, and he actually does. Where the film does have its problems is Red Skull and some of the goofy stuff with him, a bit over the top with that. But I think this film is pretty good, and it is the beginning of the MCU, but it's still a pretty good movie on this list. And a little heads up, these next 3 films here, it took a while to figure out how I'm going to rank them. And these next 3 films are essentially almost tied for me, but I had to rank them, so it was a bit hard, but here we go. 4th place, we have Darwin Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules, the second Darwin Wimpy Kid movie. And I also did another video on this where I ranked all the Darwin Wimpy Kid movies. So I've already talked about these first 2 movies already, but Darwin Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules. I just find this to be a fun movie they could put on any time, laugh at, and anybody, you could just walk in the movie, laugh at it, and immediately join in without having any context of what this is. It's a fun movie, family movie that you can just watch whenever. It has this middle school vibe to it. It's hilarious. It has so many funny, super good scenes from the first big part of the movie where they go to the roller skating rink to the final end with the talent show. Just very, very, very fun film that I don't think it's the best Darwin Wimpy Kid film, but it's definitely such a fun movie. It overall, this is mostly out of just I've seen this movie so many times and enjoyed it so much, but these other few films are quite a bit better for stepping back and looking at technical and all this other stuff. But I really do enjoy this movie a ton. It was hard to put it, but it comes at the lower end because it isn't necessarily my favorite Darwin Wimpy Kid movie. It's my second favorite. I really do love it, but it doesn't make the first place for that. It's really a fun movie, and I really recommend. This is one movie that I could just recommend to most anybody. Okay, number 3 spot here is going to be The Help. I think this is a really, really underrated movie. I don't know if you've seen it or not. I really haven't heard anybody talk about this movie, but it is done so well for this sort of film, with being in the time period that it is, and it's got Emma Stone in it as like this main character that's writing about it, and it's about the help, the people, the black people that were taking care of children and stuff back in whenever this film is set, and it was based on a book. And so just this movie brought to life so much. It's so good with what it does with that, and it's so technically made. It can be really funny in the middle, and this film is another one that's not for everybody. I was gonna do a review for it, but we'll see about tomorrow. I'm trying to figure that out. There's so many great performances in here. All like the main characters do great performances. There's so many different side things that they're going on, but they all pay off in the end, and it could add some emotional value to it. It's just a really, really fun film that you could just watch, and you could laugh at it, you could sort of cry with it, and it really does go for the help, and it really shows what their part was in when they were doing and when they were actually getting paid and what they were doing. It was a very, very interesting film that I think is one of the most underrated films of all time, I'd say. But it's not 100% for everybody. So you might watch this and you might be like, I didn't like that too much. But for me, for some reason, this film just works. So I really do like this movie. And it is sort of tied with Darren Be Kid and this next one up here because they're all really good films that I enjoy. And coming in second place here is going to be Rise of the Planet of the Apes. This is the one that I've seen most recently on this list because if you watched my haul video a while back, I did get this one and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Rewatching it again, it still holds up. The camera work, the animation on the apes, and just the emotions that it could bring. I haven't really talked about this movie. I'm going to do a ranking when I see all three, but I have to order the third one for it to come in. But Rise of the Planet of the Apes was a very interesting movie because it could have the emotions to it. It doesn't start off fast. It starts off extremely sort of slow in the middle. It slows down, but in a good way. And then when it moves forward, it can be a blockbuster with apes on horses with machine guns, killing and destroying things and taking out helicopters and stuff. It's just very, very interesting film like that. And having the blockbuster side while you also have the emotional side to it. The cast here is really, really good. And it works really well as the first film, setting up this entire thing. And having the apes, you understand like them. You understand Caesar. And it just such a great character in such a great movie that I think still does hold up. Even though it might be slower than the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, it is still really good. But coming in first place here is going to be Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2. The ending of the Harry Potter franchise. Well, the actual one, the Fantastic Beasts exist. But this one, when I first watched them like a while ago, was my favorite. That might change when I rewatch them this time for Fantastic Beasts 3, which is coming out. But it draws this franchise, well, these Harry Potter movies, to a perfect end. It ends on a high note that pays almost everything off. It can be emotional. It can be heartfelt. It can be funny at times. And the epicness of the action is there. It's so epic with the final fights and just having all these characters fight and the final reveals the stuff that gets revealed, the deaths, the triumph, the final battle. It all leads to this. And I just love this movie so much. As a sort of a newer fan, you might be like, oh, wow, this one is really good, but yeah, should it really be, or are you a true fan? Me, I'm sort of newer to this. I'll discovered this entire franchise, these movies, these books, all in the past year, but still, this movie is so good because most franchises end on a pretty low note, usually. Well, think about Star Wars. Think about, usually they low, but Star Wars Rise of Skywalker is the first thing that comes to mind in this situation. But still, Harry Potter ending so good. The action, everything. And it is a shorter film, but I still really enjoy this movie. So those are my top 5 favorite movies of 2011. Leave your list down below. We're making it through this. We're getting let me check. I don't know. Yeah, we're getting almost halfway there, I think. So, this has been nice. Thanks for watching. Leave your list down below. Subscribe to Max Reviews. Braden out.